the army can't stop that creature.
No, but maybe we turtles can, with a little rocket power.
Someone keeps eating my yogurt.
What kind of yogurt?
I was saving that for after my run, David.
Oh my god, I guess I was saving it for during your run then.
Hey, Robbie, we're not going to bust your chops for trying to impress a girl.
I can't believe she's dead.
It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinny and Fetty Bus. Famous for their podcasts, you can now catch them right here on the Al Travis Show.
Well, we've got him. We've got him, Fetty Bussin, with us today from Hard-Headed Sports. Fetty, this is the sad news I just found out. You actually paid to go to that Viking game on Sunday night. Did you ask for money back on your way out the door? Because I don't know who showed up, but it was not the Minnesota Vikings I know and love.
Yeah, I completely agree. I had a conversation with a coworker yesterday. I was like, "See, you kind of had it better watching at home because you could just turn the TV off." I couldn't do anything like that. I had to sit there and watch it and go through the whole game. But
you got to come to my place because a couple of things. The beers are cheaper. You can go up and use the restroom whenever you want, and you can turn the channel. So there's a big deal going on if you want to watch in my garage anytime there. But so what's the number? If I ask you the one thing, what was wrong with the game on Sunday?
Wow, one thing?
I'll throw it out. It's the offensive line.
That was probably the biggest thing I would say too, yeah.
Because there's no way that poor kid, and by the way, news today, JJ is out 2 to 4 weeks with high ankle sprain. He got his butt handed to him on Sunday over and over and over again. He may have a ankle sprain, he may not, but I would tell you he's gun shy. He doesn't want to get back in that pocket again because there's no pocket.
Well, and anytime he did have time, he was seeing ghosts because of how many times he would get sacked immediately. There was one play I remember explicitly. I think it was, I want to say third quarter, where the dude came off the left edge, literally wasn't touched at all. So basically, we were in shotgun formation, and basically right when JJ got the ball and hiked it, he was getting sacked already. And that was the one. That was the play he fumbled on. And it was like,
what do you do?
What are you going to do? Like, this is a 22-year-old in his second game. Like, this guy needs the protection so he can. You know, he's going to be a little slow in the processing the defense type thing right now. That only comes with game reps. So, yeah, it was. I would say that was the number one thing as well.
Yeah. So how does that get fixed? I mean, Darisol's on the bench. I get it, and he's supposed to be fantastic. So if he's not in, we suck. If he's in, we're going to be great. Is that what they're trying to tell me? We have nothing that comes in as background. Then all of a sudden the center is out. I believe at one point we had a third guard come in, the third string guard. They were getting depleted. How do you fix that in a week?
It's all about health, right? So I don't know if there's really a 1 week fix. You know, the backups, like you said, are just, they're not good at all. I'm sorry.
But and then answer me this, because the busiest spot in that whole place was the emergency tent on the Viking sideline. How does each guy? I mean, we just had 5 or 6 linemen go in for concussion protocol. I mean, they're beating heads. I get that. Aren't they hitting heads with the other guys? Why were the other guys not going down?
Yeah, I don't know. I never understand that type of thing. I feel like that's always how it goes.
Yeah. Now, if that's the worst thing, I will tell you the defense bothered me again for the first quarter. In that, just like the first game, it was pretty vanilla defense. But every time they got in the red zone, the defense held up. You have to give them some credit that they did not let them score, to the end of the game. I mean, 5 field goals. We gave them 6 turnovers, and the defense gave up 5 field goals. To me, I think there is something to be said about Flores and what he's dialing up.
Yeah, it's the classic bend, don't break saying, and I think that's kind of even last year. That's how the defense was too. We'd potentially, give up yards and get in the red zone, but would always make the offense settle for 3. And that's all you can ask the defense to do for the most part. So when the defense is bailing you out time and time again, they can only do that so often.
Yeah.
And that's basically how the game was going.
4 turnovers the Minnesota had to 1 for Atlanta. That alone will make you lose most football games. 0 for 1. We were in the red zone in Atlanta's red zone one time and didn't get anything.
One
Got the field
time.
goal. One time. This is how bad. 198 yards is all the offense got for an entire game. That just can't be what we do.
Like I said, you had it better than me, Al. You could just turn the TV off and go to bed. I was sitting there watching that in person.
See, but I got a sickness about me. I couldn't turn it off. I was sitting there, and you're literally looking at halftime, 9-6. Terrible football game. But you're like, you know what? Last week was the same thing. We'll turn it on. We'll get something going. You saw that pass at the very end of the half, the 150-yarder we had to Jefferson. All right, here we go. We've got something figured out. You really thought coming out of the half we were going to be good. We're going to get the ball back. This game's still ours. 3 and out. Boom. There was nothing that changed. I couldn't turn it off. And then when you got to the end of the fourth and you just knew this was over, I couldn't turn it off because I was mad. Then I couldn't go to sleep because I was mad. I honestly, 2-3 days later, am I mad? No. But I don't know what this offense does to turn this around. You can't run anything we want to do if you can't block in the front line.
Correct. It all starts with the blocking, 100%. And that was pretty much the vibe in the stadium, too, was everyone was just kind of holding on, waiting for it to happen type deal. Like, everyone had that vibe, going into the fourth quarter, like, oh, this is kind of how it was last week. We're going to start doing something. And then the fourth quarter was honestly even worse than the rest of the game. So we were all waiting for something to happen, and it never did.
Our leading rusher had 30 yards.
30 yards, and Bijan, I think, ripped off a 30-yarder to start the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it's just so let me ask you this. Do you believe that JJ actually has a high ankle sprain? He played all the way to the end. The last couple plays, he was running around. I get it, but I think you're pretty jacked up. You don't care about the pain. I believe he does. I don't know which play he got it on, but he was rolled up on all day long. Do you believe he's actually got a high ankle sprain? It doesn't matter.
I think potentially even the sack where he fumbled it is when it happened, because his leg and ankle got all messed up on that sack. He went down very awkwardly there, and that's kind of why he had to let go of the ball. So I think that might be the play where it happened, or at least aggravated it there. And now he's out for 2 to 4 weeks.
And what are your thoughts on that? Wentz comes in. He's been here all of 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. He's an old wily vet, but old is really his thing. He's not been mobile or done anything for how long? Can we win next week with him as the helm?
Well, I am kind of sussed out about Carson Wentz, I won't lie. But at the same time, the Bengals just lost Joe Burrow for essentially the whole season.
Can you tell me what turf toe is? How do you get your toe bent up when it's inside a shoe? Isn't
it just like essentially torn ligaments in your toe?
But you're wearing a shoe. It's all tied together. It's all knotted up. How does your toe get that out of disjoint from the rest of the toes? How does a big piggy get away from the little piggy far enough to break a ligament?
I don't really know how it happens either, but I just know it's like a very dreaded injury in football, because you can't plant your foot at all. Anytime you plant your foot, you're in pain. And he was gonna try to play through it, but then literally the next day the doctors told him he needed to get surgery, and now he's out for 3 months. So now
you've really torn some ligaments if they got to do surgery to heal it. That toe had to come out. That's just so weird.
Yeah, and it was grade 3 too, so it's the worst turf toe you could possibly have. And so now we're going from J.J. McCarthy versus Joe Burrow to Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. Quite the switch. How
exciting. I'll tell you what, NBC had to be very upset about that game. You're sitting there trying to hype this thing up as your Sunday night game of the week, and it's 9-6 at half, and it's just 15-6. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah, 1 touchdown the entire game, and that was kind of even a scrub time touchdown. There was only like 4 minutes left when it happened. So
so your thoughts on the Bengals? Then is this a crapshoot? Then I mean, you can put Wentz behind there, but guess what? You have no offensive line. We have no idea who's going to be playing offensive line. This could still be another blowout, another loss for us, even though they've got nothing for the Bengals here.
Yeah, the only plus side I would say is the Bengals defense is potentially bottom 5 in the entire league. They're terrible.
Okay. All right.
But Trey Hendrickson is their best player, who is an edge rusher, so he might be feasting on us all night. And even though they don't have Joe Burrow, they still have Jamar Chase. They still have T. Higgins. Jake Browning has proven to be solid, actually, as a backup for them. He's 2 years ago, Joe Burrow missed essentially the whole season with an ankle injury, and he came in, and they still won like 8 games that year too. So even though Burrow's out, I am definitely still worried about trying to slow down that high-powered offense.
All right, on our side of the fence, JJ, maybe he's hurt. I get it. He's out for a couple 3 weeks. He's had one good quarter in 8.
In 8 quarters, yep.
In 8 quarters. Are you still behind this cat? What are we looking at? Or is there a controversy? What, are you going to go all the way to Max Brosma?
I mean, I have to stick behind him, right? I mean, he's 22 years old, the youngest QB in the entire league.
Yeah.
The youngest QB ever to start was 21, so he's almost, he's up there in one of the youngest QBs ever to start an NFL game. He's only played 2 games in his entire career, so I have to kind of accept it, even though it's obviously really hard to watch, especially since we have a win-now roster. But you got to give the kids some time to develop and get better.
Fair enough. Let's go to break. We have more sports to talk about here in Minnesota. We'll do that right after this. I've got him, Fetty Bus from Hard-Headed Sports.
Media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
September 24th is Suicide Prevention on the Air Day in Minnesota. Every dollar raised supports SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, providing education, advocacy, and programs that save lives. And on September 24th, your gift will go twice as far because every donation will be matched dollar for dollar. Visit save.org to see our work, learn how you can help, and donate. Remember, September 24th, because every voice can save a life.
amongst friends. The Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
I've got him. We've got Fetty Bus with Hard-Headed Sports. Get him wherever you get your podcasts. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the Minnesota Twins, but I get a lot of crap when I don't because, I mean, we're Twins people here in this state. But, sir, they get themselves eliminated yesterday. I guess the day before with the loss. They get none other than the New York Yankees coming to town, and they put an egg on them. They win 7-0 yesterday. The Woodridge kid pitched fantastic. Your thoughts on your Minnesota Twins? Is it just something where they can be a spoiler, and are they even good enough to be a spoiler to anybody? Woods Richardson, that's the name.
Yeah, you might as well just kind of play spoiler now at this point of the season, you know. I think the Yankees are pretty much locked into the playoffs,
Yeah.
But they're still technically in the wild card race, so anything to mess up the seed that they have, I mean, why not, right?
I guess if you can. You want to win what you can. These kids want to play the Yankees, I get it. But what gets you back to being a fan? What is it going to take? This offseason, they're going to, in my opinion, got to spend so much money to show me that you decimated your pitching, but because you're going to go out and buy more. If they don't show up with something for the field next year, what do you got but hopes and dreams?
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I was talking to Spinny about this the other day. I was like, I really can't support this team anymore as long as the Bullheads are owners, because how many years have they shown us that they just really don't care about winning at all? So why should I care as a fan? Honestly, I mean,
Buzz, why would you own a sports franchise if you did not want to win? It doesn't. It seems antithetical. It makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense to me either. They're basically having this pro sports team to try to make money, which doesn't really make sense. That's not why you invest in pro sports teams. Obviously, it's a big investment. You're going to make money, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But there should be a goal to win games. Like, I just don't understand. Yeah. And we're not the only team in MLB, so I won't act like we're the only team with poor ownership, because there's so many teams around the league that have owners that just refuse to win because at the end of the day, they know that the big market teams, they have more money anyways. And so that's kind of the issue with the MLB with the no salary cap is the richer the owner is, the more likely that team is to spend money and continue to spend money. But it doesn't seem that way in Minnesota, that's for sure.
Okay, let's go over to the Wild. Wild going to kick started here pretty soon. The weirdest story about all this is Kaprizov is in kind of a contract negotiation with the Wild, and he turned down the richest contract ever offered to an NHL player, $128 million over 8 years. What? You don't want to be the richest guy ever to play? What am I missing?
That is insane to me. My only guess would be the years, maybe. He doesn't. I know that's actually pretty typical in MLB, or I mean, not MLB, NHL contracts is around the 8-year thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, but that's not for everybody, right? Like he doesn't necessarily want to be tied down to one franchise for that many straight years. So maybe it's the years thing. He likes the annual average value there in terms of what he'd be getting paid, but not the years. That would be my guess. But either way, that's insane to turn a deal down like that.
Well,
doesn't bode well though.
It's got to be the Byron Buxton feel. Byron signed a long-term thing. He's here. He's trapped with an organization that will not let him win. I got to think that's what Kaprizov is looking at. I don't want to be trapped into something that if it goes south like Buxton, I'm a great player that never gets my shot at the title, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like I think it's the year situation. I think probably 4 to 5 years is more what he's looking for, but it's not good. Let's put it that way. If your best player is still not resigning when they offer you the highest paid contract in NHL history. So I don't know if he even wants to be in Minnesota in general.
Yeah. That's the feeling I get. Bus, I got to go. We're out of time, but you offer me 128 at any time in my life. Just sign me up. I'm good. I don't care how many years it is. It's Bus, Fetty Bus from Hard-Headed Sports, picking up wherever you get your podcast. More after this.
Think about it. Now that school's out for the summer, how